Hello and welcome back to 3D Drawing for your model railway. In the last episode we got the start of the electrification wagon that we were drawing complete to this point where that's the majority of the symmetrical items that we can do at this point done. So today's lesson, what I'm looking to do is continue on drawing the W irons and the axle boxes, so that then pretty much we got to the point where everything that is symmetrical is sorted on the wagon. So if we jump into Fusion here and we can have a look at the canvas, we can see that on the canvas we've got the W iron in perfect position on the drawing here. So first thing to notice, you notice on the W iron it's recessed back off of this sole bar slightly. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a offset plane, and we're going to do it, if I turn the canvas off you can see where I'm selecting. I'm going to do it on this front face of the sole bar here. I'm just going to offset it by minus 0.5 millimeters. So it's going to be recessed slightly into the wagon. Okay, that's going to put it pretty much on the same surface as this inner sole bar here. Okay, so if we click on OK there, and we can create a sketch on that offset plane. Okay, turn the canvas back on, and then we're going to start to draw the W line. Now the first thing of note is where's the symmetrical line, because we might as well only draw this once and mirror everything over. So if we find the symmetrical lines pretty much in the middle here, okay, I'm going to draw a line from that point upwards, and I'm going to tell it to coincidence to that top surface there. So this line here I'm going to turn into a construction line, and we can then just mirror everything across once we've completed one half of the W line. Okay, so first thing we'll look at is drawing the diagonal part down. I'm going to start about there. Comes in, I find that construction line and across. Just notice these for some reason go construction lines, so I'm just going to change them back to normal. Okay, so the next thing is I'm going to draw up and across. So now we've got the enclosed area. Again, why have these gone to construction lines? Weird why it's doing that. Okay, so that's this part. If you notice, we've actually got a cutout in the middle here. The axle box sort of spans across both sides. So what we could do is, although I'm concerned about potentially weakening it too much, we could draw the construction line. We can draw the line, turn that off there. It should be a normal line now. Draw a line down like that, and that should be a normal line. That's it. My only concern with doing it that way and potentially having this cut out is this weakness. I might leave the top half solid and just have an empty part at the bottom. I think that's what I might do there. Yeah, let's do that and mirror this across. So we're going to select those two, and we're going to extrude back into the wagon by 1 millimeter, because I always do 1 the W lines for the strength. Okay, and then we can just mirror this across to that join. Mirror features, select that feature. Mirror plane will be that inner surface. Let's now start to draw on this top surface. So if we let's just draw a rectangle like that for I should have snapped that corner, so it should be constrained there. coincidence. 2 corners there. And the height, we're going to define that as 3.25. Okay, so this surface, we're going to just extrude that forward slightly and come forward by 0.2 millimeters. And that creates the plate that we've got here. We're going to have a hole in the middle of the plate, and that's going to sit about this sort of position here. So if we draw sort of a rectangular sort of shape, about that sort of size. So what we've got there, we've got 0.4 millimeters, and I'm going to define the height and bring that down to 0.4 high, and then extrude this all the way through to the back surface. So it's cutting a hole there. Excuse me. Next thing I'm going to look at is drawing the axle box on it. So it's got a circle and then sort of a shroud over the top. Sketch on that surface. That's the centre point, so we'll find the centre line there. I'm going to go for 1.5 millimeters. I might want to move this back because I might want that hole a little bit bigger in a little while. And we're going to extrude this forwards. If we look at how far forward that sits, that's going to come all the way up to just beyond the front of the sol bar here. We spin this round to side on, and we can drag this forwards. Maybe 0.5 millimeters until it's joined there. It's got another little bit on the top, which is going to be a little bit smaller. Okay, find that centre point. I'm going to go for 0.7 millimeters, and then I'm just going to extrude this forwards, so maybe 0.2 millimeters. So not particularly big, it's just giving that view of an extra relief there. Okay, so next thing I'm going to do is project through to draw the hole in the back. I'm going to the back of the WI. I'm going to project the larger of the 2 circles there. So that's now on the back surface here. We can then find our centre point. We know we've done a 1.5 circle. I actually think I want 1.5. Yeah, so I'm going to create a circle on this inner surface here. I'm going to do it as, I think, 1.2 millimeters. I've checked that with the crane, which is about what we've got there with the crane. So we'll create that as 1.2, and then we can extrude this back forwards into the WI and create the hole for the axle. And we're going to come 1.5 millimeters. Click on OK, and then I'm going to fill it off that top surface. I'm going to recess it by 0.3 millimeters, just so that it gives a little bit of relief for the pinpoint as it opens. The pinpoint opens up at an angle. This will just help to ease that in a little bit more. Okay, so the next thing is there's a couple of holes on this sketch. Are they on the wagon? Yes, they are. And there's also some rivets to draw on the WI in there. So the rivets are going to go down the side here. So if we create a sketch on this surface, we'll draw those rivets. We're just using small circles. The height of the first one. That's pretty much the start at the bottom. So doing normal rivets, I do 0.3 diameter. We'll do that 0.3 up, and distance is 0.2. Then we extrude forwards 0.15 and fill it off the top 0.15. That makes them round. pattern it. So select the 3 features. That's on features. Select those 2 features. Direction is upwards. If we check the wagon, there is 4 of them. So select 4 and drag up. Okay, and then we're going to drag them across. We only 2 in that direction, and they're going to be sat on the other side here. 1.94 across on mine. Okay, so that's just the rivets sorted. Next is the holes. Create 2 holes here. And I'm going to just draw a circle. 0.4. This might not print particularly well because it's quite small. 2.5 there. Create another circle on this side. Actually, no, let's not do that. Now we can do. 4. Horizontal, vertical, 2 midpoints. That's the height defined. And we'll define the distance. We could put a symmetry line down here, but it's just as quick for me to do 0.38. There was a measurement. Going to select those 2 circles and again extrude those all the way through. So the next thing I'm going to be looking at drawing is the leaf springs here. Now if we look at the end of the leaf spring, it just sits ever so slightly over the end of the W arm, but there is a small rectangular piece that's sort of holding it in place. For ease of printing though, I'm going to create the leaf spring so it's completely contained within the whole of the W line, because if it starts overhanging, this drawing you can see is way out compared to the picture. Yeah, for ease of printing, if I was to do this W line out here somewhere, when I angle the wagon, I'm then going to end up with loads of little supports all over it and run the risk of damaging the print itself. So yeah, I'm just going to draw them on this back face here. Okay, so we're going to create a sketch on the back surface of the WI. I'm going to be using the fit spline points to draw this. I'm going to draw the first spline point up there. I'm going to find the midpoint of the WI, which you can see is highlighted with a blue line there, and then bring this back over to the other side. And then click on tip. I'm going to define distance from there to there as 0.2 millimeters, and distance from there to there as 0.2 millimeters. 0.2 millimeters, and then this middle one I'm going to padlock in place like that, and that'll fix the whole of the arc there. Okay, so I'm then going to offset this downwards slightly. It's going to come say 0.2 millimeters, and then I'm going to offset again. That'll be 0.4 millimeters, and offset again. 0.6 millimeters. Okay, you can see that I'm not going to have particularly many leaves here, but unfortunately we're just going to have to run with the limitations of what you can print in N-gauge. Okay, so I'm going to have this line again, trying to keep it parallel. You see how it's parallel up, 2 blue lines parallel up to this one. Define the distance between those 2 points, 0.6 millimeters. Do the same on the other side. See if we'll get it to parallel. It won't. if I just snap it on like that and then use parallel line, that one and that one, they'll snap to each other. Define the distance there, 0.6. Drag this up to the top like that, and we can draw the next one. There. Again, I'm just going to do it at a funny angle where there's no constraints, and then just use the parallel line to sort them out. It's gone a bit weird there. Actually look like it's parallel. Let's undo that. Try again. So parallel to that one. Drag it back. A little bit better, I think. And define those 2 points there. 0.6 again. And then do the same on this side. Okay, so we've got the leaves drawn there. Select all these profiles. Let's try again. So profile, profile, that one, that one, that one, and then extrude those forwards. Maybe 0.4 millimeters, and tell it to join. If we turn the canvas off, you can see better what we've got there. Click on OK, and there's our leaf spring shape. And then if we look at the picture, they've got like a little bracket that comes over the top that holds them. This actually looks like it's got different axle boxes to the one in the other photo. Yeah, it has. By the looks of it. This one's got different as well. That's got nothing in the middle of that hole. That's got something. That's got a bracket. Yeah, it's got different shapes of axle boxes. So depending on the wagon you want, whether you want to be that accurate, you can draw different shapes on the axle boxes there. We do have a bracket that goes over the top here. So turn that canvas back on. We're going to use the center point rectangle. That's found the midpoint, so that's useful. And we can drag it out. It's slightly smaller to start with, and I'm going to coincidence that to that line, and that to, do you want that? Let's go see if I can select that corner and that corner, and then coincident into that line. No. Okay, so let's just drag this down because it doesn't really matter. I'm going to drag it forwards. You'll see what I mean by that. I'm just going to select this and extrude. And if I do a two-sided extrusion, this one is going to go all the way back into the WI, to join, and then I'm just going to drag this forwards by 0.1 millimeter. So it doesn't matter about the bottom bit, how long it is, because all it's going to do is just stay within inside this part of the axle box here. Okay, so comparing what we've got now with pictures. Now, although we've got these variances on the different types of axle boxes, I'm happy with the one that I've drawn so far, which looks more like one of these boxes. Find it. Yeah, it's more like one of these boxes here. So I'm happy with what we've got. Compared, we've got the leaf springs, although we haven't got as many leaves in our spring. But that's a byproduct of having to do these in N-gauge. If we were to go much smaller than 0.2 on these, you're not really going to be able to then see the steps in the leaf spring as it is. So I think I'm going to leave it as it is there at 0.2. I'll finish this video up and come back with some more on the next episode. So I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you have, please like and subscribe to make sure you're notified when the next episode goes up. Thanks for watching.